Hey everybody, welcome back to Bestiary Boys, where we take deep dives into monster manuals and bestiaries. And what is the creature we're talking about today, Joey?
Like we're talking about ghosts, man.
Oh man, ghosts, man. Awesome, ghosts. I'm excited to get into the realm of the undead. And I think, speaking of which, before we get into the ghost, we should talk about, because we've been missing often, the little splash pages that are introducing each and every class of creature. I think we decided maybe at the very end we're going to do a full episode talking about the chronicler and all these things, but I don't know. Just in case, we'll do it. So undead, I love this entry here because it's very philosophical. The first line is, "What is evil?" And they generally don't start like this. It's typically just like the behavior or origins and things like that. But it gets into this philosophical discussion of, are the ghosts evil or those who summon them evil? And these ghosts are in that instance anyway. They're arguing those ghosts are pissed off because they just want to rest.
Right.
So they're brought back in the world. However, it says the exceptions are few and usually consist of souls that spontaneously linger when the body dies as a result of the circumstances of their death. And these such restless spirits may initially be less hateful and even seek contact, but it says over time their hatred grows as well. And it says also that the original soul almost always remains somewhere in its twisted mind. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of cool that they've almost classified two kinds of ghosts here, which is, it gives you some, I don't know, background or ways to throw ghosts at your players. I think one could be summoning a ghost, in which case it's pissed. It's here against its free will. Whether or not souls have free will or not is up to you, I guess, philosophically. But the way is they're trapped here for some reason, which is going to be very, very similar to the entry of the ghost that Free League presents us with here, meaning there are ways to allow them to rest. Yeah. But let's get into... Oh, go ahead. Did you want to say something?
Well, I like how it kind of depicts that whole some part of the original soul remains inside whatever. So like, because this is the entry for all of undead. We're not even just talking about just ghosts. Yeah, imagine you're a zombie and you're risen from the dead, and there's still some small part of you that's there. So you're a zombie doing these horrible cannibalistic acts that you can't control yourself to not do, but a piece of your sanity is enduring it. That's scary as hell.
That's dark. Yeah. That's some dark crap. You're trapped. You're unable to stop whatever you're doing. Especially, I think a zombie is a great example. You're eating the flesh of other people, and you're inside your head and being like, "I don't want to be here. I don't want to be doing this." So
yeah, but you gotta until somebody puts you out.
Yeah,
again.
Yeah. It's a special kind of hell for sure. But anyway, moving on to the specific entry of ghosts, we'll start with a quote, and it goes like this. "My last words are a promise and a threat. You think you'll get rid of me by this unjust execution, but I swear by my beating heart that I shall not leave this world until you are dead. Every last one of you, every last one." And this is by Ismar the Butcher, who has been condemned. So I would love to use Ismus the Butcher as a character, because this is the beginning, right? How are you going to use him? Why was he condemned? What is he going to do to get revenge? It's cool stuff. Let's take a peek at the artwork, though. And this one is beautiful. It stands out to me. I love all the artwork in this book, but this one feels special for some reason. I guess it's because it's inverted. I don't know. I really like the way he depicted the translucency of a ghost. And it's not just like a, I don't know. It's not just like a woman in a gown, with like crazy hair, like you often think of like with a banshee or something. But it's a soldier. He's got a helm. It's very Nordic inspired, of course, because we're dealing with Free League here, holding a spear, and he's got little flowy shreds where his legs used to be. As he's guarding some kind of tomb. And it's at night, which is cool too.
Yeah, he's clearly one of the ghosts who he wasn't summoned, probably because he looks too at peace. It's like he just had unfinished, but his guard duty wasn't over.
Yeah, exactly.
Got unfinished business.
And I'm such a huge fan of this class of creature because they're tragic.
Mm-hmm.
How Free League is treating them anyway. And so let's begin there, shall we? So the term ghost, in quotes, is used here to refer to spirits that for one reason or another have not found peace in death. Some linger because they refuse to abandon a loved one, some because they seek justice or revenge for what they perceived as a shameful death, some because, like Ismar, I guess, some because they possess knowledge or information that must be passed on. Either way, it never ends well. The ghost may have memories of the time before its death, but in its spirit mind becomes confused and its popular purpose unclear. This is probably why ghosts are almost always characterized by severe mood swings and fits of anger. So they're bipolar. Keep that in mind, GMs. The inability to think and act with clarity frustrates them to the point of rage and sometimes beyond. I love that because it's, I don't know, when we're playing games or playing role-playing games and stuff, I feel like anyway I do, I don't often think that deeply about these characters, the psyche of these creatures. And I think it's really cool that Free League is getting us that, because like giving us that, because it's like you said, they're frustrated. It's almost like their anger is coming from the fact that they can't really articulate, I guess, how they feel or what they're doing or anything like that. But it's really cool. Anyway, it takes both courage and patience to try to help a ghost or even understand how it can be helped. Sometimes the attempt claims the helper's life. Ooh, spooky. So how are you feeling about ghosts so far?
Probably the most versatile entry, like the most versatile creature you can have in any game, really. But yeah, like you just to reflect on what you said, I really like Free League's way of really telling you mix it up between from ghost to ghost. And they like to use ghosts. There's a lot of ghosts in this game.
There are, and I love it because
they are all different. So
yeah, I feel like ghosts are criminally underused creatures in RPGs. Mm-hmm. They're so cool. They're so classic. You may think they're somewhat cliche or tropey, but man, especially the way they're depicted here, there's so many, like you were saying, they're saying, hey, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe, there's all kinds of reasons why these ghosts are here. So massive variety. Whereas like you were saying, alluding to earlier, is that many of the creatures in here, they have a specific behavioral pattern. Yeah. And they have pretty common consistent motivations and stuff. Whereas these are super diverse, but
could be anything. Could be any reason, anything. You could have everything from an elderly ghost man all the way to the ghost of an infant if you wanted to get really dark.
Ooh.
And
Damn, that's a great idea, dude. An infant ghost. I'm gonna have to think about that. But just in case your player characters don't help the ghost and they gotta fight, how does this ghost look as a combatant?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Gwydion, he don't give a shit about ghosts. He'll talk crap to them. Because I think he did. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys. There's a little bit of a lingering mystery with the little side quest that they took part in.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. As forgetful as that old woman seems, I might have unlimited attempts. So we'll see what happens. But in general, ghosts are normal-sized creatures. They have a ferocity of 2. Which is kind of interesting. Not a lot of normal-sized creatures have ferocity 2. Movement is 12. They have no armor, but they have, we'll get into what they have that's as good as armor.
Yep.
HP 27. They have immunity. Ghosts are are immaterial beings and immune to all damage except magic and fire. And here's a cool part. A defeated ghost is only banished for 1 shift, after which it returns. The only way to banish the ghost permanently is to cast Purge or solve whatever problem keeps it bound to the world of the living. Even if that problem is maybe a necromancer. I guess if you kill whoever summoned it, that'll also free them. I would have it do that way.
Yeah. No, it's so cool because I love the idea that they don't just have a finite amount of, like, you can defeat them, but they will come back. So you do, if you do win the battle, you can escape safely. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that, if you do decide to come back for whatever reason, if you ever do, or other parties do come back, that it's not going to be there. So it's funny. I'll speak on this very briefly. And if I remember correctly, when we first played Rittermound, I don't know if it was like the quick start rules or if it was the campaign. Nobody had magical weapons. I think they had torches, but they didn't know. Dragonbane's kind of unique in that way that there's special rules for torches as weapons,
right?
Which is cool. And so I don't think the players. It's always tough for me as a GM. I guess maybe that's an open question to you. If your player characters are set up against a ghost, and they're just attacking and not doing any damage, do you just kind of try to hint at them that, like, maybe if they have a torch in combat, if they're in some kind of barrow or something, that the ghost kind of avoids that area, to try to give them a hint? Or how would you communicate that?
I think I would do that. I remember when you had that test play with me and Matt, we ran into a ghost there, and I was the mini rules lawyer for the channel before I became part of it. So I was immediately like, wave your torches at that bitch. She don't like fire. Yeah. But yeah, I think if my players weren't getting that, I would have very subtle hints, maybe to full on hint, but I would start out very subtle. Like, if there's torches on the wall, notice how if you go near there, the ghost doesn't immediately follow you over there because it doesn't like the light of the torches. I'd give them hints.
Yeah, it's always tough to think of that on the fly because often, we don't want to just give them a random beast lore roll or myths and legends roll. Really, we want it to kind of feel natural in the fiction because it is really fun. And I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but it is really fun that when you are fighting a ghost and you feel helpless because every swing of your sword or shot of your bow is doing nothing, and you're like, what do we do? I feel, if I remember correctly, like they just weren't getting it. They kept trying to attack this thing, and I don't know if they thought that it was just immune altogether, even though they did have an item in their possession that could attack this thing. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, I had a DM way back in the day. These were his words, not mine. And I don't fully believe in them, but they always made me laugh. He always said the only thing dumber than the mechanics or the adventure you're running is going to be your players. So give them benefit of the doubt that, give them the little extra help that they need, especially when it's very obvious that they need it. And plus, just from my personal experience, being mostly a DM and GM and being a player rarely, when I was a player, though, I kind of, especially since you've been running for me, I've kind of learned, like, holy crap, it's so easy as a DM or a GM to kind of assume, gosh, guys, you should just get this. But when you're a player, my brain cells drop to minimal. It feels like sometimes it's like, oh yeah, no duh. But
yeah, maybe there is something that you guys have been missing. That maybe if the campaign ends and then you guys don't figure out something, then I'll spill it. But yeah, it is funny but again, it's always like, because I know what the answer is, so it's obvious to me, right? I think a lot of GMs out there, hear me out at the very least, okay? Never get frustrated with your players, because I've been a player where a GM does get frustrated when we're not getting stuff. Don't do that. Try to drop little hints if they need to, like, for instance, fighting a ghost and they don't understand. Try to telegraph some ways to sort of clue them in, but never just give it away, because there's been plenty of times where I've been running games, specifically Dragonbane, where it's fun for me because I want you guys to know, but I have to I have to hold back and think like, no, I don't want to solve this for them. And I don't want to, if they don't solve something, that's the end of the story. That's the story. That's how the story goes.
Right.
Because not every quest has to be finished. Whereas I think a lot of times, because we know we're playing a game, we think this is going to happen. And so just resist trying to close that loop. Like, I've seen, as cool of a DM as Matt Mercer is, I've noticed he's given DM tips or GM tips where he really tries to get them to do what he wants them to do, which I kind of disagree with, because I feel like, you know what, hands off, this is not your game, it's the player's game.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox and let you continue.
We really needed to start having
GM discussion or
videos,
whatever. Yeah.
Tome of tangent videos.
Yeah. We should.
But here we go. Persuadable ghosts. Remember the episode Ghosts? They are persuadable. Unlike other monsters, ghosts can usually be persuaded, and it's in all caps because that's a skill in the game. Albeit with a Bane on the roll. And I would challenge that if you give me a good role play enough of a reason, you could turn that Bane into a regular role. Like maybe you're trying to persuade the ghost of a little girl, and you go to her old home and find her favorite doll. So now when you try to persuade her, now it's a normal role. It's not a boon, but it's not a Bane anymore.
That's what I love. And that's what I love about Dragonbane so much, is there is a rule system embedded into the game that rewards that kind of play. Because you can have, unless you're running Foundry, you can only have a maximum of 9 boons or 9 Banes, but you can stack these things. So, and I've done it before. If a player has a clever idea, plus a useful item, plus you know what I mean, I will stack boons or stack Banes, and it's so great because often I think in games, it's like you have advantage, disadvantage, and it's like, okay, well, shit, now what else? Like if they keep, you kind of run out of stuff, not in Dragonbane, so you can keep stacking it.
You could have a really clever idea in 5th edition, but the best you get is advantage. Unless you just homebrew
something.
This mechanic, which I actually did before I even knew Dragonbane existed. I would let them, all right, you have double advantage, So, and it's a good mechanic. My players always loved it. We did it in 5th edition forever. So it was always a good one.
Yeah.
But monster attacks, what can the ghost do to us? It can do some really terrible shit. First one, Ghost Strike. The ghost lunges at a player within 10 meters and strikes with a great force. The victim is knocked back 2d6 meters. So don't fight these guys in a high up place, because 2d6 meters could be quite the distance.
Yeah.
And you don't like Weathertop. I'm not fighting ghosts on top of Weathertop.
That would be such a cool adventure, though, if you had like a multi-tier, like you're fighting a ghost on a mountaintop, and there's a multi-tier thing where maybe falling doesn't cause death, but you fall down to the next level.
Yeah,
man, that would be a sweet combat encounter.
And then you take the same amount of bludgeoning damage and you land prone. So
there you go.
Number 2, the Touch of Death. The ghost sticks its translucent hand into the chest of an unfortunate player, grasps the victim's heart. That's hardcore. The victim suffers 2d10 points of damage and becomes scared. There's no check. Of course, you're going to be scared after that happens.
Yeah, it's total Temple of Doom right there, man.
Armor has no effect.
Yeah,
so
clearly, because your heart, is being squeezed.
Yeah. The only time I would give a player immunity to Touch of Death is if they have like magic armor. Maybe the ghost can't quite go through magic armor.
No, I can see that.
Number 3, Ghost Scream. The undead face contorts into a horrible grimace and lets out a scream that chills the souls of all players within 10 meters. Everyone must make a will roll to resist fear. So that's when you give the old creepypasta cliche of the ghost's mouth opens impossibly large.
Yeah. Yeah, impossibly.
Gosh. Death Stare. Number 4. Ghost towers over a player character, staring directly into their soul with its dead eyes, like a doll's eyes. The victim sees their life pass before their eyes and is tormented by grotesque visions of all their dead friends and foes. The victim becomes scared, suffers a fear attack, and gets a Bane on their will roll. Now, didn't the Will-O-Wisp have something similar? to this when we were
Yeah,
fighting
I
him?
totally screwed it up, by the way, because we'll talk about it more when we get there. But basically, it's not the player's life flashes before their eyes. It's that the player sees the dead spirit of the will-o'-the-wisp and what happened to them.
Ah,
So I got it backward. I fucked up, which could have been a cool encounter. I blew it.
yeah. Number 5, ghostly embrace. The ghost emits an unnatural wheeze. That just sounds funny.
I know.
And suddenly appears right in front of an adventurer within 10 meters, wrapping them in a deadly embrace to smother their spark of life. Very poetic, these entries. I don't know if maybe the other ones were too, and it's just hitting hard today.
No. These are definitely on another level. Yeah, I think these
The
are.
attack inflicts 3d6 bludgeoning damage and leaves the victim dazed.
So it's like a COVID hug, basically. They
Yeah.
they wheeze over to you, give you a big hug, and you're screwed.
Yep. Number 6, cold strike. The ghost grabs a victim and lets the icy chill of death stream into their body. The player character suffers 2d8 damage and cannot heal HP or willpower. Oh my god, that's huge. Until they spend one shift in a warm location.
Damn. That's
Armor
awesome.
has no effect.
Damn.
Wow.
Brutal.
Ghosts are deadly. And they have a ferocity of 2. So 2 of these things are happening.
Yeah. And plus, gotta have a magical weapon or fire.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are not doing anything. So I think the moral of the story is try to find out, why they're trapped here. What do they need?
Persuade them.
Persuade them. Which I guess brings us into the encounter, which is the player characters arrive at a deep gorge or ravine. At its bottom flows a raging river, and the only way across seems to be a rickety rope bridge. In the middle of the bridge stands an elderly gentleman. He warns them that the bridge is dangerous and suggests that they instead head down into the ravine and search for a crossing. The gentleman is the ghost of an adventurer who fell to his death from the bridge and who is now bound to warn others of the same fate. The man's body can be found in the water at the bottom of the ravine, and if it is buried, the ghost will be at peace. So not even there's no real threat of combat. It's like this guy is just here to make sure other people don't fall to their death like him. The interesting thing, though, is he's doing a good deed.
Yeah.
So when he's buried, he's gone. So now it's like the warning is gone.
Yeah, that's true. But he'll be at peace. So.
He'll be at peace. No, I like this one. It's a total non-combat encounter, and there might be even a little cool, I don't know, nugget of something to find the body of the dead man who's at the bottom of the ravine, which could be a cool little adventure seed as well. Maybe you find some kind of note or some kind of item, or who knows? Lots of possibilities. But let's talk about the adventure seed. Willerby is haunted. This reminds me of, what is the Ben Milton adventure? The Willoughby Hall or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it's one of his games. Restless spirits roam the streets. This one's really cool, by the way. With no apparent purpose or destination, they cannot be communicated with, and no one knows what caused them to manifest in the world of the living. After various investigations, it becomes clear that an adventurer named Bolta disappeared without a trace on the night of the haunting started. Maybe this has something to do with it. Yes, that is it. Yes, that is it. Beneath the village are a series of ancient catacombs that can only be accessed through the well in the village square. I always love going down into a well in an adventure. Super sweet. So anyway, the player characters who climb down and find the crack that leads into the catacombs. After some searching, they find the burial chamber where Bolta lies dead on the ground, killed by a simple trap. But on the floor in front of her is an open book on necromancy, surrounded by a ghostly glow. It is the energy that is summoning the ghosts, and if the book is closed, everything will return to normal. But as soon as anyone goes near it, Bolta's ghost rises from her lifeless body, ready to do everything in its power to defend its beloved treasure. Really cool adventure seed. I love this one because it's like multi-pronged, right? You have, to me, this is like a totally like a 3-act detailed adventure, a lot
Yeah.
more detailed, I feel like, than some of the other ones have been, where there's ghosts haunting some place, you don't know why. You go down into the well, you find a catacomb, which is the whole adventure site in itself. Then you finally find this woman's body. You figure out, oh yeah, you've solved it. You close the book on necromancy, but dun dun dun, she rises from the body and attacks. So yeah, I like this one. How you
Good
feeling?
one.
It's a good
I
one.
like it. Yeah.
What about
In
you?
fact, I was kind of thinking about maybe one day if we get like where enough people like us, right? And there's like a lot of people who watch this.
Like the video.
Maybe one day I'll take the daunting task of like every now and then running something for some of our viewers just randomly. I'll just randomly select people who would be interested and run some of these adventures out of this book just to try them out.
Damn,
Get them scratched off my list.
that is very generous of you. I was thinking you were going to say you would take these and actually detail them out into some kind of document, then distribute them. But man, running them for a viewer, that's a whole other level of commitment, man.
Someday. I love running games. Like this is what I do all the damn time. So
yeah, see, what we got to do is we got to be big enough to where we do this for a living, and then we can do that
that'll
stuff,
never
guys.
happen. That'll never happen.
I mean, just think of it, guys. Like that's all you got to do. Just keep following us, keep liking, keep commenting, and eventually all these great gifts will be yours.
yeah, I do like this adventure seat a lot. And actually, that is a good idea. I think maybe I will work on that. I'll start making some random encounter maps and like details, and I think that'd be fun to do. And then
Even
just
if
put it out there for people to have.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do as well is I've decided to do this with Path of Glory, and maybe I'll go back with the other campaign too, but all of the homebrewed side quest stuff, once you guys complete them or abandon them, or we finish the campaign, release them to the public, just so they can add them into their campaign if they want.
If they want to.
So
it's a great idea.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Now, how would I use ghosts in my
How would you? Yeah, you.
I was thinking about it, and I'm sure I'm inspired by something, although I can't think of what. I actually would say maybe that recent horror movie. I can't remember what it was called, but I think I would have like a haunted house, basically a haunted manor. And once the adventurers, like let's say the adventurers went in there for refuge, like Resident Evil style, right?
Yeah.
Like this is the safest place in this crazy ass forest. They get in there, but now they're trapped, and it's completely it's just your classic abandoned haunted manor. And there's like this really big grandfather clock in the main in the foyer of this place, and the only way to escape is to help some of the ghosts in there kind of find their peace. But the only way to do that is you have to turn the hands on the clock to certain times of the day to make certain things repeat themselves and solve a mystery of sorts by trying out different times of a 24-hour cycle day.
That's cool.
Figure it out. You get rewarded with, maybe the owner of the manor's treasure of some kind, and you get to leave. But
that's funny.
Rest in peace.
That's very like Resident Evil or Silent Hill, where there's rando sort of mechanical puzzles that have influences on either the environment or the characters within. Yep. Yeah, that's a cool one. That's cool.
And
I like it.
I would totally have plenty of puzzles in it, but I would have some puzzles that the players would just try to figure out. And then, of course, I would have puzzles where like some of the group needs to try to figure out this puzzle while the rest are fighting something off because something's trying to kill them while they're it's like a dire situation puzzle.
Damn.
I would want there to be some action happening. But yeah, I think that's that's where I would start with ghosts.
That's cool, man. I like it.
Be a lot of work.
Cool. I don't know. When I was thinking of the combat encounter, I don't really have a full-fledged adventure, but I'm thinking like an encounter of a ghost on some kind of I don't know, ruin on a mountaintop or something.
Mhm.
And it's very like there's archways and stairways leading up and stuff like that. And the ghost can kind of, pop around. I guess we didn't talk about their movement. I don't think it described it, but I'm guessing they can just float wherever they want. They're not really
I would
bound
assume
by the
so.
ground. So
Yeah.
it'd be neat if like there's all these fallen heroes that have gone up to this, this peak to try to kill this ghost for whatever reason. I need to flesh that out.
Hmm.
And I just think it'd be such a cool encounter with that shove mechanic
Yeah.
where you get up there, you fall, you get pushed down. This ghost is kind of blinking, not blinking, but floating to
Yeah.
different areas. I think that's one thing that I don't know. Yeah, actually, I guess actually the last combat encounter or the last one before last, you guys, was kind of a multi-level one, but I don't do enough of those.
Right.
Multi-level combat is really fucking cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to figure out the story of that, but I just, in my head, that seems like it would be a really cool combat encounter with a
Yeah.
ghost. But anyway, let's move on to the amazing artwork that has been submitted by our viewers. And we got some
Yes.
new ones. So, first and foremost, actually, let me read the email just to make sure I get the name right. So, this one is by. Oh, where did it go? I just had it. It is by Azel Elidir. So Azel Elidir sends in this really cool image of this ghost, this hypnotic, kind of Pac-Man, kind of the video game Limbo ghost,
Hmm.
but really cool, like watercolor, I guess, looking stuff. I don't know if it's digital. I'm guessing it might be digital watercolor.
It looks digital, but like, yeah, with like a certain brushes being
Brush,
used.
yeah, it's really cool, and it has these
Oh,
like it's got like a little tilt
yeah.
of its head, and it just has these eyes that are hypnotizing. I'm looking at it right now on the screen really big. I'm just like
Same. Me too.
staring into its eyes like, oh man, something gonna happen to me.
Yeah, I like the colors, how they fade into each other, and in the
Mhm.
middle it kind of looks like, like scribbled color, like lightened color. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's a neat looking ghost. And yeah, I like how it's just two eyes on, this shape, but it looks inquisitive, like
Oh,
somehow
it
it
does. But
it has
what if
expression.
what if this is just the head? So at first I was thinking like
Right.
a Pac-Man ghost, right? Because that's kind of
Yeah.
what it looks like. But what if this is just the head? What if it's a bearded head? And that's what those
Bearded head.
tendrils are
Yeah.
at the bottom. And because it is so kind of, I don't know, hidden by light and shadow, you only see its glowing eyes. You can't make out its visage, like its nose and its mouth and all that. So there you
Yeah.
go. There's a creepier version. I don't know if that was the intent, but that's where my dark mind went.
Yeah.
But yeah, Azel Elidir, thank you so much. Really cool stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, if you guys also have any links, if you guys do portfolio stuff, whatever, like Captain Flunder, I know his site, just send it to us along with this was through our email. So send us any information, how you would like to be credited as well, because I don't want to, say someone's full name if they don't want me to do so.
Right.
But the second one, speaking of names, we don't know the name. It's anonymous, Joey. So why
It's
don't you take
anonymous.
why don't you take this one?
So here we have this adorable anonymous ghost. It looks like it's okay with being dead.
It does.
It looks
What-
like it's looking at its own tombstone, and it's like, yes, I like the font they chose. I like the little swirl underneath. I am resting mostly in peace.
Uh-huh.
You got little clouds and a big full moon in the
Uh-huh.
back.
I love the
This
eyes. Yeah, it has those like anime eyes where they're just getting
Yeah.
almost tearing up, like glistening, ready to cry in a way. Could be from
a little
excitement.
smile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the smile. I guess it's so excited, like you said. It's
I
very
bet this person was like maybe a little bad, and they're just happy they didn't go to hell or something. Yeah, they're like, oh, cool. I didn't like make it to the best place, but I'm not in the worst.
Yeah, I mean, I could still kind of float around, I'm kind of in
Yeah,
this
I'd
weird
be
in-between
excited.
state.
I could still
Yeah.
watch the new season of my favorite show coming out through someone else's window. All
Yeah.
creepily.
Cool. Well, thank you, Anonymous. Amazing artwork. And strangely enough, these two ghosts are kind of they're sort of similar in a way. The
Yeah,
two entries we got.
because it's
Yeah.
just it's how everybody. If I drew a ghost, it'd be a variation of the same kind of.
That's true, because there's like
me.
two layers, right? There's one that it's a translucent spirit, right? But then it's like, well, what does it look like beyond that? Is it a sheet? Is it a woman? Is it a man? Is it some creature? Is it something else? Who knows?
Yeah.
But if you guys would like to send us stuff to be featured on the show, doesn't have to be artwork. Can be. We love it. Can be anything you want related to the creature. Email us at can't talk. Email us at archivistofadventure@gmail.com, or you can join our Discord server and come hang out with us and drop it in the Bestiary Boys channel, or you can DM us there. Totally free. So, yeah, you should totally do it for next time.
Totally.
And I guess before we move on, ghosts and media, they're all over, man.
They're all over.
We could be here.
Do you have a favorite or like a top, your top one?
I don't know why, but I probably do, and I'm probably forgetting my favorite. Oh, fuck. What? I would say the two little girls from The Shining.
Okay.
Those are creepy as hell. I mean, whether or not those are really ghosts or if they're just sort of a psychological manifestation, you know, like from the house projecting it into your mind. I don't know, but geez, the whole movie, the creepy woman in the bathtub too.
Yeah.
Creepy. I would at first. It's funny. My mind first went to the movie 13 Ghosts. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah, 13 Ghosts. Oh my god.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I went there first, but I mean, Shining's one of my top 5 movies of all time. So I got to pick one of those. What about you? Ghostbusters?
Mine's kind of no, believe it or not. Mine's actually, I think, a weird pick. So my favorite ghost is Megumi Tanaka. She was the ghost in the 2008 film Shudder. She is a ghost of warding, but she's like really creepy throughout the whole film, and you think she's bad news, but she's actually not. She's just trying to warn one of the main characters of someone. And I don't want to say too much because if you've never seen Shudder, it's a very overlooked film. It was part of that whole big when we just started getting Japanese horror films like crazy, like The Grudge and The Ring. Shudder's another one of them. It's got the guy from The Mighty Duck starring in it. I forget his
shit!
name.
This wasn't the one where he's like the ghost
He's a
is like
photographer.
riding on his back the whole time and he weighs a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was like, sorry for the spoilers if you guys haven't seen this film. I totally spoiled the whole movie, but dude, when that scene happened, I was like, what the fuck is this? You got to be kidding me. Like, this is, oh man. Anyway,
it was brilliantly creepy. Like, is it kind of a generic film? Yes, but I just loved what they did with her ghost because we, like I said, we went from Kayako from The Grudge and I think they call her Samara, but her name is Sadako, I think, in Japanese for The Ring.
Oh, and The Ring.
And they're just like, they're heinous, vengeful spirits full of wrath. But Megumi is just trying to, so since we already had spoilers, what she's doing is she's trying to warn a woman who just married this man who was the cause of her death. And I saw that. He's a big doo-doo head.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater, actually. I remember.
Yeah, I did too. 2008. What was I? 18? Yeah. Good movie though. Check it out. But I think that's actually one of my favorite ghosts. But the best ghost movie for me, it's really shitty though in a way, but it's 13 Ghosts. I'm so excited that I think they're doing a series for it. FX is talking about doing a whole series for it. And if you ever had 13 Ghosts and you had the DVD and it had all the behind this, like the special features, and it told you all the backstories of each ghost, I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Why can't we should have fucking got 13 movies. And then, it's great. I love 13 Ghosts. That's like
Yeah.
it's a guilty pleasure horror film for me for sure. Because a lot of people turn their nose up at it, but the real ones, they watch 13 Ghosts every year. And they watch 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo with Vincent Price.
Yeah. And if you guys want to go a little art house, I will recommend A Ghost Story with Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara, I believe. Really cool ghost story about sort of yeah, it's called A Ghost Story. I think it was put out by A24 if I remember correctly. So it's kind of more indie arty kind of film, but I really liked it.
Is he the guy who got mad about his cheeseburger in Good Will Hunting?
Yeah. Yeah, he's Ben Affleck's brother. Yeah. Ben Affleck's
I loved him in Good Will Hunting. I loved him in that movie.
Yeah, here's your
fucking cheeseburger.
He's a great actor, man. He's in all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, dude, he's in all kinds of stuff. Check it out. Yeah.
A Ghost Story.
A Ghost Story. Yeah, it's a cool little movie. It's kind of weird. You got to be patient with it. There's even a little bit of humor in it, but it's a really cool exploration of sort of the when you lose somebody and then I guess that presence that's left behind, how they view everything from that point onward.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. I like it, because they're kind of stuck in this spot for the most part while their loved ones have to move on. And so, like, what is that like? It's like a POV of a ghost almost, which is kind of cool.
I'm going to check that out. So there's our recommendations for Ghost in Media. 2008 Shudder and 2017's A Ghost Story.
A Ghost Story. There you go. Very, very different films. But hopefully you guys like them. And if you guys have any ghostly recommendations, let us know down below. Yeah, we could be here all night, dude, talking about ghost movies. And I'm going to kill myself for not mentioning probably even a better one by the time when we stop recording.
Yep.
But I guess that's Ghosts. Really cool creature. This one has been very inspiring for me. Clearly, this is probably going to be one of our longer episodes. Oh, Jesus. Dang. Yeah, it's going to be a long episode, guys. Forgive me for the tangents. But so what are we doing next week though?
Next week we're talking about ghouls.
Yes. I'm so excited for that one too. I guess I'm just a sucker for the undead. I don't know, but
they're awesome.
This one's going to be fun.
They're the best. Yep.
This was going to be fun. Okay. So you guys heard it. Don't forget, if you guys would like to send us some stuff, you know how to do it. I'll pin the comment down below for Ghoul. Looking forward to what you guys come up with. And spoiler alert, somebody else already sent one thing to us. But thanks for hanging out with us and watching another episode. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.